This is Hannibal here from the HannibalTV.com with my weekly review of the points I find interesting in Dave Meltzer's Wrestling Observer newsletter, and there's a lot of news and information in it. This week, I did show the other day the hoodies of Blood Hunter and Blaze, and there's also, if you look in the description, I have the link, a t-shirt that you guys can get of my favorite manager here, Blaze, as well as the Blood Hunter, which everybody knows now is me thanks to TMZ, the New York Daily News, the New York Post, the Toronto Sun. It's all over the place, so I gave up on kayfabing that. Let me get right into the news. Fourth quarter numbers are out for WWE and AEW live events and television. So that's the last quarter of 2021 from October to the end of December. AEW averaged 5,644 paid for tapings. SmackDown did the best. They averaged 783 fans for tapings paid. Raw averaged 5,377 paid. WWE house shows in the U.S. averaged 3,947 paid. Now keep in mind, AEW does not do house shows. Of course, let's get into the ratings differences now. Last year, for the fourth quarter, Raw averaged a 0.52 rating. For 2020, Raw averaged a 0.52. For 2021, Raw only averaged a 0.43 rating. So it's gone down a lot from the quarter last year to the last quarter this year. Went from 0.52 last year to 0.43 for the last quarter of the most recent year. For SmackDown, for 2020, they averaged a 0.62 rating in 2020. For 2021, they averaged a 0.55 rating. So that's also down. NXT was down as well. 2020, last quarter, they averaged a 0.17 rating. This quarter, they averaged only a 0.14 rating. Dynamite is actually up a little bit. Last year, in 2020, for the final quarter, they averaged a 0.34. 2021, last quarter, they averaged a 0.35. So they were up by a 0.1. So good for them. For 2021, WWE's largest attendance was SummerSlam at Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, 45,690 fans in attendance. AEW's largest crowd last year was their big Dynamite taping at Arthur Ashe Stadium, September 22nd, 20,177. Ufc's biggest crowd was November 6th. Kamaru Usman versus Kobe Covington at Madison Square Garden, 20,715. Funny how WWE will sometimes claim that MSG is sold out at like 10 or 12,000, but UFC can fit 20,000 in there. But the last few times WWE's been in MSG hasn't drawn anywhere close to even 10,000. Last year, WWE had 3 crowds of more than 15,000, and AEW had 2 crowds of more than 15,000. The Toronto Sun recently did an article about the war between AEW and WWE, where WWE said, quote, "If you look at the gory self-mutilation that bloodied several women in the December 31st event on TNT, it quickly became clear that these are 2 different businesses. We had an edgier product in the Attitude Era, and in 2022 world, We don't believe in that type of dangerous and brutal display is appealing to network partners, sponsors, venues, children, or the general public as a whole, end quote. So in other words, WWE is more caring about appealing sponsors and network partners and so forth than having an edgy product. So don't expect any changes in an edgy product with WWE. As far as Sunny goes, which by the way, later tonight, I'm going to post a 1 hour deep dive of Tom Pritchard talking about Sunny. And of course, Sunny was the manager of the Body Donis when she first came in WWE, which was Chris Candido and Tom Pritchard, who was close friends with Chris Candido. So at 8 p.m. tonight Eastern, I'm going to post that deep dive. Tom Pritchard talking about Sunny. The police report for her arrest on January 13th said she threatened to kill her boyfriend, who's a young bodybuilder who grew up a big fan of her. She's 49 now, and she threatened to kill him while holding scissors. The officers were already there at this time and witnessed the threatening and saw she was under the influence of likely drugs or alcohol. She was then arrested, and she since posted on Facebook, quote, "I am okay. I am lying low for a bit, but I'm okay. Don't believe the media. Please don't. I am a warrior," end quote. As far as the Royal Rumble goes, January 29th, they've sold 31,528 tickets so far, or that's how many are out, including comps. Meltzer says expect WWE to tack on another 10,000 to whatever the legitimate number is. Amy Dumas, the former girlfriend of Edge and Matt Hardy, 46 now, is back with WWE doing an angle with Charlotte Flair. She's also going to be in the Royal Rumble. The March 5th Madison Square Garden advance isn't good. There's only 3,129 tickets out, and that includes comps. And they're already doing 25% discounts on some tickets. The wrestlers being advertised include Roman Reigns, Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Charlotte Flair, Big E, Kevin Owens, Drew McIntyre, The New Day, and the Usos. Bring in Billy Graham for a special Billy Graham night. You'll sell the place out. He's back under contract with you now anyways. Dynamite did a 0.44 rating this week, actually better than Raw for their show in Washington. They drew 3,700 with 3,500 paid. Raw only did a 0.43 from Tulsa with 3,900 paid, 4,400 in the building. SmackDown from Omaha did a 0.56 rating, 6,000 paid with 7,002 fans in the building. Rampage did a 0.2 rating, no attendance figures for Rampage. NXT tied its lowest number of all time, 0.11 rating. AEW news, Eddie Kingston suffered a fractured orbital bone and is going to be out for about 3 weeks. Nyla Rose has COVID. In other news, Andrea Mitchell from Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, the original series, passed away January 18th due to complications from COVID. She had posted 5 days earlier that she felt like major shit. Her name in Glow was Angel, and she had a biker gimmick. So sorry to hear about that. I did enjoy the original Glow. Dwayne Johnson is going to have a major announcement regarding the XFL soon. Former WWE wrestler Summer Rae said she left pro wrestling due to a serious injury. So that's the main news for the day. I did post an interview with Ron Fuller earlier today. I got that Tom Pritchard deep dive on Sunny later tonight. And there's another Kevin Sullivan podcast being uploaded soon. Got a Warlord shoot interview coming up. Sergeant Buddy Lee Parker tomorrow night at 5 is supposed to be doing an interview with me. So we'll see if that happens, and I'm working on more. What about, yes, I put Crowbar from WCW in the picture of this. That was from New Jersey this week, where Jenny Santana and I ran into him at the gym. We were both in New Jersey to get stem cell injections. David, Terry Taylor works for WWE. He's not going to do an interview with me. David, I've done security for Taylor Swift, and I didn't know who she was before, but I had a great position for that security job, and I actually enjoyed her concert. Dan says the level of wrestling performance has gone down a lot. The pasty mouth, or the potty mouth, says Terry Taylor is a backup dancer for Taylor Swift. I would love to see that in his Red Rooster jacket and his Red Rooster hair dancing around for Taylor Swift. Anthony checking in from Essex, all the way in the UK, and he says, great show. Appreciate it. Jason, it's been going pretty good. Other than the lockdown here, but I've had a good week, and I just got stem cell injections, so can't lift heavy weights for a few weeks anyways. Sean, yes, Lita is in the Royal Rumble match. Nick, no, WWE is not getting ready to go R-rated. They were saying in that article in a derogatory manner about AEW going that way. And AEW, I wouldn't say is R-rated either, but they do have blood in matches. But I'm positive they test their wrestlers, and I'm positive the wrestlers are not sharing blades. And as I mentioned, I got a recent test in December, and I'm all clean. Chris says he cannot see WWE selling out AT&T Stadium in Dallas 2 nights in a row this year. I don't know. Bobby thinks WWE needs to be sold. I don't think so. I think just new products need to come out. Great North Wrestling, we got events coming up this year. April 23rd in Ottawa, September 3rd in Petawawa, and there's going to be at least one more in between. And I'm going to be putting out my own product. Of course, I'll be facing Ricky Banderas April 23rd as the Blood Hunter. And yes, Blaze will be in my corner. As you can see her here. Usually when she's around with me, the ring gets covered in blood. So Mil Muertes has, I guess, 1,000 lives. You're going to use up all of them in that match. It ain't going to be pretty. Ian says, what the crake with you, Devin? I know he's from Ireland. I guess that's an Irish saying. Bobby says Sonny needs help. David, how long was I at the gym for in New Jersey? I don't know, an hour and a half each session. Andrew, how come Meltzer doesn't announce the attendance for this week's Dynamite? They did announce the attendance for this week's Dynamite. They just didn't announce Rampage. Let me re-say what it was since you weren't paying attention. Where was it here? Dynamite this week did 3,700 fans with 3,500 paid. There you go. Bobby, MSG does need Billy Graham. Stevie says Roman couldn't draw, even if you gave him some crayons. Well, he is their best regular wrestler that they have. I'll give them that. But they don't have like any Rocks or Steve Austins or Hulk Hogan's. True Sinister has no faith in the XFL. I don't really care about the XFL. Pulsar lights, how hard is it to start the car in the morning? Luckily, I have a heated garage, but there's nothing worse when you have your car outside than having to scrape it, chop ice off of it, warm it up. That's why I don't mind living somewhere that has a heated garage, even though it's more expensive. Sean predicts Lita is going to win the Royal Rumble match. Tommy says wrestling will never get back to its former 80s glory. Patrick, I would love to do another interview with Ken Patera. Luis wants AEW to sign Sonny. That could be interesting. Is WWE worth more than UFC? I don't know. They've got more of a catalog of footage. I really don't know. No expert on that. Jordan says hashtag blood hunter. What about says WWE needs to unite titles? I agree. There's way too many titles. Far too many titles. I got a lot of stuff to do tonight. Busy weekend ahead of me, so I'm going to check out. I wish all you guys a good weekend. Big shirt. I'll close with this. Go and buy this Blood Hunter and Blaze t-shirt or hoodie. Link is in the description. Good way to support this channel. Oh, I got a hater calling me a mindless goof, giving me the finger. Thanks for the view. You're still getting me paid. Appreciate it. Views count whether you love me or hate me, buddy. Thank you for watching the Hannibal TV. Please help me out and like this video. Then click the subscribe and get notifications buttons so you don't miss any of my latest shoot interviews, match videos, or news updates. Follow us on Facebook at The Hannibal TV for more live streams and videos. And while you're at it, follow us on Instagram and Twitter at The Hannibal TV.